is Danny from the Pleasant Hills Public Library, and I am so excited that you're here with me today for another installment of STEAM Creatures. So, do you remember what all the letters in STEAM stand for? Science, technology, engineering, arts, and math. And today we will be using all of those subject areas to learn a little bit more about the rainforest. So, what is the rainforest? Where is the rainforest? To answer those questions, let's look at a picture of a map and some animals that live there.
A rainforest is a forest made of very tall trees with a warm climate and a lot of rainfall. In fact, the average rainforest gets over 80 inches of rain a year, and in some rainforests it rains more than 1 inch every day. Rainforests only cover about 6% of the total surface on Earth, but are home to over 50% of all animal and plant life found on our planet. Rainforests can be found in Central and South America, Africa, Asia, and Australia. The largest rainforest is the Amazon rainforest in South America. There are two main types of rainforests, temperate and tropical. Temperate rainforests are found near the cooler coastal areas, whereas tropical rainforests are close to the equator where it is very warm. Most rainforests are made up of layers: emergent, canopy, understory, and the forest floor. Each layer has different levels of water, sunlight, and air circulation. The top layer is the emergent layer, and here the trees dominate the skyline. Animals move by flying or gliding. Animals that live here include bats, birds, gliders, and butterflies. Beneath the emergent layer is the canopy, a deep layer of leaves and branches that form a roof over the remaining ones. The canopy blocks wind and rainfall and sunlight, creating a humid and dark environment. Many animals live here as the fruit and seeds are plentiful. And some of those animals include monkeys and sloths, birds, insects, and reptiles. Located below the canopy is the understory. It's darker and more humid here, and plants have adapted by growing larger and smellier. Many animals that live here take advantage of the darkness for camouflage, such as the jaguar. Snakes, insects, and reptiles also call the understory home. The last layer is the forest floor, and here it is very dark, and plants have difficulty growing. Decomposers such as termites, slugs, and scorpions thrive here. Other animals such as wild pigs, armadillos, and anteaters survive by foraging. Many rainforests also have rivers nearby, and in these rivers you may see pink river dolphins, black caimans, or crocodiles. Rainforests are the oldest ecosystem and perhaps the most important. They provide oxygen for the rest of the world while also being home to more species of plants and animals than anywhere else.
Wow, well, I don't know about you, but I'd like to go explore the rainforest. Think of all the amazing animals we would see. Well, in our story today, that's what these two people are doing. They're taking a hike through the rainforest. This is Over and Under the Rainforest, written by Kate Messner with art by Christopher Silas Neal and read today with permission from Chronicle Books. Into the rainforest we hike through slivers of sunlight and dripping wet leaves. Up in the trees, there's a symphony of sound, chatters and chirps, and a howling roar. What's up there? I whisper. Up in the trees? Tito asks. Well, up in the trees is a whole hidden world, a riot of monkeys and insects and birds. We're hiking under them now. Up in the trees, orpandalas gurgle in low-swinging nests. Toucans croak and bicker over breakfast. Down in the forest, I follow Tito along the trail, while Guta search the ground for fallen fruit. Yummy. On the footbridge we climb, up, up, up. Tito rests to catch his breath before we cross over the river below. Up in the trees, long-nosed bats sleep away the daylight, all in a row. Down on the bank, sleepy crocodiles bask in the sun. As we cross, an emerald basilisk races across the other side, barely skimming the river's surface. Tito and I laugh at his fast, funny legs and wish we could walk on water too. We scramble over roots and rocks, climbing higher into the trees. A poison dart frog makes his way up a trunk with a tadpole on his back. Our hanging bridge teeters and tips with every wobbly step. I keep a tight grip on the rail. We're eye to eye with Capricorn monkeys, and they hold on with arms and legs and tails swinging through branches up high in the trees. See the macaw over there? My stomach rumbles, and Tito reaches into his pack. We snack on dried mangoes and pineapple while the monkeys feast on wild almonds. Way down below, leaf-cutter ants march in a line, carrying bits of leaves and petals back to their nest. A long-snouted anteater snuffles along, sniffing for a meal of his own. The afternoon rain begins with a patter, a pitter, soft drumming on the leaves up above, and soon it swells to a strong, rushing pour, and all the world feels dripping and wet. A blue morpho butterfly folds up her wings and tucks away on a tree trunk. High in the branches, a soggy mother sloth and her baby sleep through the storm. Deep in the forest, the rain lets up. A parrot snake races over the trail, long and slender and green. "She's hunting for frogs," Tito says, as the snake's skinny tail disappears in the leaves. Up in the trees, an eyelash palm pit viper hunts too, curled around a branch, patient and silent and still. High in the canopy, a furry dark shadow clings to a branch. Tito lifts his hands to his mouth and sends a roar to the sky. The forest waits, quiet. And then, comes the answer. A thunder of howler monkeys high up in the trees. Their calls quiet down as the blue sky grows dark and night falls fast in the forest. Our walk through the tree tops is through. At the base of the bridge, an orb spider weaves her web, a golden tapestry that will catch moonlight and insects tonight. There's a sudden, sharp snap, and I freeze in my tracks. A crack of a branch, a long, loud rustle, and then quiet again. Maybe it's a jaguar walking to hunt, night in her time for growling and prowling through the shadows of the rainforest floor. I run to catch up with Tito as we cross the last bridge to home. Abuleta will have supper waiting, arzo con pollo, chicken and spices with rice. The sky grows dark and birds return to their nests. I spy a squirrel cuckoo, a woodpecker, a motmot, flying home through the trees. Their songs fade away as a choir of insects and rain fill the dusk. A night song of darkness and water and life, over us, under us, and all around. Can you imagine? How cool would that be to be walking through the rainforest and see all of those animals, the birds and the monkeys, the snakes, the spiders, the sloths. Pretty cool, huh, friends? And now, friends, it is time for our STEAM Challenge. This week is extra special because I have not one, but 2 STEAM challenges for you. The first one's pretty easy. You're going to design your very own poison dart frog using the template provided in our take-home kits. Now, if you are unable to get our take-home kit for whatever reason, I will link to this template in the video description, and you can print or freehand draw it at home. Now, in our story, the poison dart frog was bright red and blue, but poison dart frogs come in all sorts of bright colors so that other animals know to stay away. Here are some examples of poison dart frogs. the second part of our STEAM challenge, we are going to make our own rain sticks. So no one really knows where rain sticks originated. It's believed that various indigenous tribes created them, first to bring on the rain. They're usually made out of a dried out log or a cactus, and then needles are punched in, and that creates the cool sound effect like rain. In the rainforest, it rains pretty much every day, so even though they don't need rain sticks, many of the indigenous tribes there still use them. We're going to create our own using a paper tube. Let's head over to the craft table to learn more. We've provided you with most of the supplies you'll need to make a rain stick in the kit. If you can't get the kit though, pay attention to the supply list from the kit and gather these materials at home. You're going to need a paper tube, some rice or beans, a large piece of tin foil, 2 large paper circles. If you're making these from home, trace the bottom of your paper towel tube on paper and then double it and cut that out twice. A piece of construction paper. We've provided you with brown, but you could use any color. And a long piece of yarn. This piece is optional. You will also need from home a pair of scissors, a pencil, some kind of tape, glue, and something to color with, whether that's crayons, markers, or colored pencils. Do you have all your supplies? Excellent. Let's get started. All right, we are going to start by sealing off one end of our paper tube. Place it in the middle of your circle. Use your pencil to trace around it. Whoop, doesn't have to be perfect. Mine came out a little wonky. That's okay. You're going to use your scissors and cut 4 lines, 4 slits rather, going to that circle. And again, doesn't have to be perfect, just has to work. Now place your tube back in the middle and fold up those tabs. What you're going to do now is get out your tape, and you can use any kind of tape, masking tape, duct tape, painter's tape even, whatever you have, and secure the tabs to the tube. Start by doing one at a time, and then the other one, and then the other one, and then the other one. Don't be afraid to use a lot of tape when you are sealing the bottom. You don't want any of the noise-making item to fall out, especially if you're using rice, because rice has a tendency to fall through the cracks. So make sure to seal that really good. Now that that's done, let's get out the tin foil. Fold it, open it up so that you have the long edge in front of you, and fold it over and over itself, creating about 2 inches worth of a strip. Ta-da! Now that you have your strip, you're going to make it into a very tight coil. You can wrap it around your finger, or you can wrap it around your pencil, or you can just, wrap it loose. However works best for you. Once you're happy with your coil, go ahead and set it inside your tube. And then we're going to get out your noise-making item. So some of our kits came with beans, some came with rice, and if you're doing this from home, you can use pretty much anything that's little that'll make noise. Corn kernels, little pebbles, whatever you have handy. Go ahead and pour them in. And then we're going to take our other circle, kind of the same thing. Here, you know what? I'm going to trace it using the bottom. And again, doesn't have to be perfect. I'm going to cut slits. This time I think I'm going to cut my slits a little smaller. Last time I ended up having to use a lot of tape to cover up where my slits were. And we're going to do the same thing. We're going to cover it up and tape our cover in place. Now that you have both the top and the bottom covered, give it a try. Try going real slow. Sounds like rain, huh? Try going fast. It's thundering and lightning out there. But our rain stick isn't done yet. Now it's time to decorate it. So get out that piece of construction paper, and you can decorate it any way you want. You could draw some rainforest animals, a scene of the rainforest, or make it look like a dried out branch, since that's what rain sticks are usually made from. Once you're done decorating your paper, it's time to use it to cover the tube. So center it over your tube and use tape or glue to attach it. Once it's attached, roll it real tight over top, and then glue or tape the other side down. Now the yarn is completely optional. You don't have to use it if you don't want to, but if you like to, you can wrap it around your rain stick to give it some more texture and then tie it in place like so. And there you go, my friends. You've made a rain stick. We would love to see pictures of your completed projects. Please feel free to post a picture as a comment to this video, email it to pleasanthills@einetwork.net, or post it to our special Facebook group, Pleasant Hills Library Virtual Programming. That's all for this week, friends. Join us next week as we explore the desert and how animals survive there. Bye!